All right, let's talk about a revolution that's happening right now and one of the most careful, detailed professions out there, auditing. We're talking about artificial intelligence, and it is changing absolutely everything. It's promising incredible speed, incredible precision. But, as we're about to see, with that kind of power comes a whole lot of responsibility.
Okay, let's just start with a number that, well, it'll make you sit up and pay attention. AI has the potential to cut the time it takes to do a full audit by up to 50%. Just think about that. A complex process that can take months, just cut in half. That's the kind of game-changing power we're looking at here.
But you know, it's not just about doing things faster. That's only half the story. The other side of the coin is accuracy. AI isn't just quicker, it's also unbelievably precise. We're talking about slashing human errors in data analysis by as much as 40%. It can spot things, little patterns and anomalies that even the most seasoned human auditor might miss.
Okay, so incredible speed, incredible accuracy, you have to be asking yourself, right? What's the catch here? If AI is this good, what are the hidden dangers, the ethical traps we need to be watching out for?
You know, to really get what a big deal this is, we kind of have to look back at how things used to be done. The traditional audit is this very methodical 5-step journey, right? You've got planning, risk assessment, strategy, gathering evidence, and then finally, reporting. It's all very linear, very human-driven. Now, just imagine AI stepping in and supercharging every single one of those stages. And that right there, that brings us to the real heart of the issue. When it comes to AI and auditing, we're looking at a true double-edged sword. On one side, you have this mind-blowing innovation, but on the other, you have the professional integrity that the entire field is literally built on. It's a constant balancing act. So let's really break this down, right? On the one hand, the promise is just massive. We're talking about speed like we've never seen, accuracy that's off the charts, and the ability to dig through enormous amounts of data to find fraud, but the dangers, the perils, they're just as real. Things like algorithmic bias creating unfair results, the black box problem where we can't even explain a decision, and of course, huge risks to data privacy.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. What are the 3 big risks? The things that really keep auditors, regulators, and ethicists up at night. These are the issues that could take this amazing new tool and turn it into something genuinely dangerous.
First on the list is something called algorithmic bias. And really, it all comes down to a super simple concept: garbage in, garbage out. If you train an AI using data that's already flawed or prejudiced, guess what? The AI is going to learn to make flawed, prejudiced decisions. It's not malicious, it's just learning from what it's been shown. And look, this isn't some abstract what-if scenario. This stuff happens in the real world. A perfect example is Amazon. They tried to build an AI to help with recruiting. The problem? They trained it on 10 years of old resumes, which were mostly from men. So the AI taught itself that men were better candidates, and it actually started penalizing resumes that had the word women's in them. They had to scrap the entire project. And in the world of auditing, the scale of this problem is just jaw-dropping. Some research suggests that bias could creep into and affect up to 30% of all AI-driven auditing decisions. Think about that. We're not talking about a small fringe issue here. This is a massive risk to the fairness and accuracy of the whole profession.
Okay, risk number 2. This one's a big one, and it's called the black box problem. Imagine you ask a genius for an answer, they give it to you, but they absolutely refuse to show you their work. That's the black box problem. The AI spits out a conclusion, maybe it flags a transaction as fraud, but we have no idea how it got there. The logic is hidden deep inside the complex code. And for a profession like auditing, it's a huge problem. I mean, their entire job is built on trust, on verifiable evidence, and being able to explain why a conclusion was reached. How can you possibly stand by a decision if you can't even begin to understand the logic behind it? So how do we fix this? Well, the answer isn't to just throw our hands up. It's about fundamentally changing how we build these AIs from the very beginning. The way forward is by creating what are called AI trust frameworks. You can think of them like a blueprint for building better AI, focusing on core ideas like transparency and explainability right from the start. The whole point is to crack open that black box so the AI's reasoning can be audited too.
And that brings us to our third big risk, and this is one that over half of all businesses are really concerned about: data privacy. To do their job, these AI auditing systems need to be fed incredible amounts of highly sensitive data. Financial records, personal information, you name it.
See, these AI systems are hungry for data, huge amounts of it. And that means they absolutely have to play by the rules. We're talking about a whole web of strict global laws, like GDPR in Europe or CCPA in California.
They need top-notch security to stop data breaches, and they have to be totally transparent about how they're using client data. If they fail at any of this, it's a legal and ethical nightmare.
So you've got this incredible potential on one side and these massive risks on the other. What do you do? How does the profession move forward without giving up its integrity? Well, the answer isn't to run away from the technology. It's about finding a new, smarter way forward.
And this is maybe the most important point of all. The future isn't about robots taking over. It's about partnership. It's what's called the human-in-the-loop model. This is where human experience and professional judgment are what guide the AI. An auditor tells the AI where to look, and then uses their own expertise to investigate the really tricky stuff the AI flags. It's a collaboration.
So how do we build this partnership? Well, it really boils down to a 4-step playbook. First, you need strong human oversight. The auditor always has to be in control and able to make the final call. Second, you need clear ethical rules for fairness and accountability. Third, the regulations have to be updated for the age of AI. And fourth, you have to constantly audit the AI itself, always checking it for bias and making sure it's still performing the way it should.
Okay, so let's put it all together. What does this all mean for the actual future of auditing? Well, it means the most important skill for an auditor is going to be learning how to trust, but also verify their new digital partner.
And really, if you remember one thing, let it be this. AI itself isn't good or bad. It's a tool. It's powerful, for sure, but it's just a tool. Whether it's used for good or for harm, whether it enhances integrity or compromises it, that all comes down to us. The responsibility is completely on the shoulders of the people who build it, manage it, and oversee it.
Which, of course, leaves us with one last really big question that the entire industry is going to have to figure out. As we move into this brave new world, we have to ask ourselves, in a world of AI auditors, who audits the AI? That's the challenge that lies ahead. Thanks for tuning in.